start the meeting today. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to have an invocation. The invocation is always given by a member of the clergy or somebody from Connersville. And whether or not you participate in the invocation has no bearing on the business that you come here to take care of. We open up that invocation to all denominations if they would like to come in and do that. If they just call my office, well, let me remind you, it's for the benefit of the Board of Works or the City Council, whatever the case might be. So with that, we're going to stand today. Jane Oakley, a Board of Works member, will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend John from the Calvary Baptist Church, we're glad to have you today.
Good to be here. Bless you. Thank you. Let's pray. Lord, we come before you today, and we're so thankful for this opportunity, Lord, to discuss the business of our city. We're thankful for our city. We're thankful, God, for our mayor, for all these Board of Work members, our city council, all those in leadership, those protecting our city, even as I pray, police officers, EMS, and God, firefighters. We're just so delighted, God, that you are doing good things in our city. So, Lord, right now in this meeting, we pray that you would be in the midst of it. We pray that you would give wisdom. I pray that those making decisions, the decision makers, would have your mind and have your heart. And Lord, we pray your favor upon our city. Help those that are hurting now in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Have a good day. If everybody will check their phones and be sure that we've got them in a turned off position and the vibrate position. Fran, you check yours?
Never gotten into that habit of buying one, so.
I tried to call him, Mayor, and I couldn't get it
No,
in.
it's not working. It's out there somewhere.
I've got a number for him.
Don't mention it here, please.
Next thing on the agenda, we roll call.
Jane Oakley,
Present.
Fran Schulman,
Present.
Leonard Urban,
Present.
Mike Bishop,
Present.
Ron Coldiron.
Present.
Let the record show that all are present. We have a quorum. We can do business. We're ready to do business. After the roll call, we'll have to read the minutes and any subsequent meetings after that.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes as they've been submitted.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as they were sent out for October the 21st, 2013 at the regular meeting. Any additions or corrections? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Under new business today, I would like to take the approval of the NDOT contract with the byway grant. We're not quite ready for that. We thought we were, but we're not. We've got to get another agreement between the byway and the city before we bring it to you. So we got to work on that. So if you'll let me, I'll pass that by. On the alley to be vacated, 707 Meyer Avenue, a family came in and asked us if they actually own on the back of the alley and they own on the side of the alley. And when I went up there to look at it, when David went up there to look at it, these alleys have been, for all practical purposes, abandoned for years. People have built sheds on them. They've planted gardens on them. They've got grass growing on them. There basically aren't any alleys there. It would be hard to tell you folks what to recommend to the city council as far as abandoning an alley. So Mr. Baker came up with a plan. His plan is that we will write to this family that wants this abandoned and ask them to follow the steps that they need to follow to have it abandoned, which would mean a survey and a request, a formal request, probably them to have a lawyer, and then we will look at that. Did I miss anything, John?
No, that's about it, but the statute anticipates persons who are owners of adjacent lots that want to vacate or are part of a public alley file a petition with the city council. And the last one we did, we had a survey because no one really knew where the alley was. Very, very difficult to anticipate where the property lines actually are.
And going up there and look at it, it looked like all of the neighbors that live on that alley would be willing to get together and just abandon the whole alley because They're actually using it anyway for garages and buildings.
Yeah.
But we'll have to get started someplace, but we're not ready for that either. So we'll go down to C, D, E, F, G, and H. All resolutions, all transfers. The first three are in the park, the last one's in the park. That's only the way they came into our office. And the other one is in transfer in motor vehicle and a transfer in first aid. You've had an opportunity to review those, call in and ask. If you'll let me, I'd like to take them all together.
Your Honor, I move that we accept resolutions 2013-65 through 2013-70.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept those resolutions C, D, E, F, G, H. As Mike says, they run from 2013-65 to 2013-70, all transfers inclusive. Any discussion?
I'd like to have them read.
Okay, you want me to read them or you want to read them?
You can read them.
I'm sorry, Fran.
Resolution 2013-65, $400 from gas to beautification and motor vehicles in the park. Resolution 2013-66, from pool employees to Social Security, $2,523.55 in the park. Resolution 2013-67, in the park, from operating to playground equipment, center rent, pickleball, and volleyball. Resolution 2013-68, transfer motor vehicle, $905 from minor equipment to gas, oil, and lubricants. Resolution 2013-69, transfer from first aid, from refunds to water server.
Sewer.
Water and sewer. She writes, it looks like a V there to me. Okay. Resolution 2013-70, transfer in the park from repair building to telephone. As I tell you, at this time of year, all these funds are getting short, so we kind of rob Peter to pay Paul. Any further discussion on these ordinances, or excuse me, resolutions? Ready for the question?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, sir.
Motion carried. Department matters, I'm going to skip by that because I'm hoping Mary Ellen will get here. She's got some things we want to go. Let's go with our public forum. Anybody out there have anything in public forum? I have something. Some of the veterans came to me, several months ago, and said that there were a lot of veterans missing out on the veteran service because if you have it at the AMVETS or a private club, they smoke and they drink. And I'm not saying smoking or drinking is bad. I'm just saying it eliminates some people that don't want to come. Now, it may work the other way. Some people may not want to come because they can't smoke, they can't drink. But anyway, they suggested that we have it at the Miller Building. I said, I will go to the Board of Works. Well, they didn't get to me until last week and said they like the idea. We're going to have the, as us old guys, not you, Jane, but us old guys call it Armistice Day. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you are getting that. But I would like permission to have Armistice Day at the Miller Building with the veterans groups. We're going to team up the city and the veterans groups together and not charge because we're going to host it. And that's what I'm asking you for today.
Is that, Your Honor, since I'm a veteran, is that all the clubs together that the
It's
AMVETS
all
and American
veterans,
Legion?
all over any
Fayette
place,
County?
any
It's open to
veteran.
any veteran.
And I understand now, we've been working with them, I understand we're going to have a luncheon.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, but we're not paying for anything. All I want to do is the city and the veterans organizations are sponsoring this together. Used to be just the veterans thing, and I would go over there and give a little speech, but we're going to sponsor it together this
And
year.
they've agreed to that, the guys?
They like the idea.
I like
Right?
it too. I like it
And I've
too.
talked to several veterans that are going to participate.
I think it's a good idea, that's great.
In our day, it was a big day, Armistice Day. We got that
Yes.
day
Yeah,
off
it's
school.
good parades.
So it is a big day.
And now
to
it's
me.
to all veterans. If you let me do that, I need a motion to that effect.
Mayor, are you saying there will be alcohol in the park?
No
Okay.
alcohol.
Thank
No
you.
alcohol.
Thank you.
And no smoking. No. It was the fact that some people didn't like to go because there was alcohol and smoking. But like I said, there may be some now come, because there isn't alcohol, isn't
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed
But
it.
we're trying it. It was their idea, not mine. It was theirs. They came to me and said, would you co-sponsor this with us? And I said, yeah, I see, it might be a good thing. It opens it up to a broader bunch of,
They considered the Roberts Building instead of...
we did, but it was taken.
Okay.
They wanted it in the Roberts Building
Yes.
because of the stage.
Are you gonna do it in the gym, Mayor, or the ballroom?
I'm not sure.
One of them, I'm not sure.
I would make a motion for the collective arms to stay for the clubs.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Any?
What's the time, but, you know,
I don't have that.
I think it's gonna start at 9 o'clock, because we have to do something. We're gonna have the taps at 11 o'clock, I think, right? And then they're gonna have a little lunch. That's the way it's gonna work. But it's not just a veteran. You know, if you're not a veteran and you can come, well, we'd love to have a group of people there. I don't know how they're gonna tell how many to make lunch for, but they've got a plan. Our only part in it is we're a co-sponsor and we're letting them use the building.
So there'll be a charge for the lunch then, is that correct?
No, not to veterans. If you're a veteran, you get to eat lunch free.
Sounds better all the time.
Yeah. Are you the only veteran? Are you a veteran, Craig?
from the reserve unit, that
Okay.
was a reserve unit that I could do.
But you're still a veteran. That's,
I guess, part way, part
Are
of
you,
one,
Jane?
I'm not sure.
I'm not, and Julie?
No.
Okay, so we have two veterans up here today. How many out there are veterans? Raise your hand. Just Dave? Dave was in that big war.
World War I?
Spanish
Okay, I see Mary Ellen came in. I'm so proud of Mary Ellen today. I want her to come up first. You know this Board of Works, we strived and we bought some motors and we thought we were gonna save money. And then we made this deal with the blower and we think we're gonna save money. Well, Mary Ellen has put together some real solid facts.
She always does.
Let's see what you-
We were gonna save this for a surprise and you ruined it.
He always steals your thunder, doesn't he?
I didn't mean to, Mary Ellen.
No, that's
This is the facts.
facts.
Facts, Jack.
Facts. Now, I only have 4 months worth of data to work with, because we've only had the motors in for 4 months, but the 4 months, the previous 4 months compared to the previous 4 years, it looks like we're saving 16% of our annual cost for kilowatt hours for electricity. So what that means to us is I can project from this that it's gonna save us $20,000 a year. So Jason was gonna give me a final figure on what it cost, the project cost, but I'm guessing it was somewhere around 160,000, am I right? About 200. About 200,000, so you're looking at 10-year payback. And it may be more than that, or quicker than that. I mean, this is, like I said, just 4 months worth of data, so. 16%, I thought that was awesome, so. There you go.
The other thing to look at, those motors could have give out any time.
Yes.
And we could have been down and been in big trouble. Now we've got, they can give out too, but we've got warranties on them and we got new motors.
We do, and we have 3 sustainable, working, wonderful motors, so I can sleep at
Are they all
night.
3 new? Or do you
Yes,
need to buy
all
the
3
third
are
one?
new.
Okay.
Control system, I mean, yeah. it's
Everything
just,
is new, and the guys are getting along with it just great. We haven't had any problems, so.
Updated software and everything, right?
Pardon?
Is it updated software?
Oh, yeah, everything. So, there you go.
Good job.
There you go, I'm giving you $20,000 a year.
Little spending,
Thanks.
sure.
Now, Dave, you want to come up and give your
That
report?
is wonderful. Would you get a few more like that?
Yeah, that's great.
From all over
Since
the
we're
city?
talking about the raw sewage pump motors down at the wastewater treatment plant, Jason Chop is with Strand Engineering, and I'll let him mention a few things about the cost.
Thanks, Dave. I have the final change order for the project. It's negative, so you don't have to give me evil looks. Basically there was.
You know how I take change orders.
That's right, I made sure it was negative before I came up here. So there was an allowance in the contract and one other small item. Total negative change order for this round is $28,698. So this closes out the contract The original contract price was $212,000, and the final contract price is about $187,000. So we finished about 11% under budget to close it out. I've got a couple small things I need from the contractor, but by the next Board of Works meeting, they'll have all of the requests for their final payment. Right now, we're holding about $9,000 in retainage, and I expect to have that for you by the next Board of Works meeting. And they're complete and just under contract warranty period. So unless there's any issues, I guess I request for the approval of change order 3 for a deduct of $28,698.
I don't think you'll have a very hard time getting
What's the figure, $28,698.20?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So,
I'll call for a motion, and if, will, so we can close this out.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to accept the change order, and it's actually a negative change order, that we actually have a savings of how much?
$28,698.20.
You got that paper? Got a new man on the radio with the paper over there?
I'm breaking in.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you very
It's a
much.
pleasure to do business with you.
Thanks, Jason.
Good news today.
Nothing like starting the meeting off with some good information.
Yes.
That's right.
Good news.
Also, with good information, they are still installing the Badger meters. They now have about 650 meters installed of the 1,000. Plus, we had 42 that came with the original agreement when we bought the software and so forth. So they're moving right along. Guys are doing a great job. Mayor had talked about getting them all in by Christmas. At this rate, they should have them all in by the very first week of December, I would think.
What this is gonna do for us is we're running all over town with these meters that are failing, trying to read this one, read that one. And now that we're getting these in, we'll be able to read them in a fashion that we won't have to put all our men out reading meters.
Hopefully, we'll see a little increase in revenue too if we're inaccurately reading them now. Hopefully, is that a correct statement, Dave?
That is correct.
There's no way of monitoring that until we get a portion of town hall in, right? It'd be hard to monitor.
Right, until you get a significant number in, this 1,000 is only, 1/6 of all the ones we're going to be putting in. So the quicker we get those in, the better. And I know we do have a schedule of purchase and install, so we look forward to getting them in. Again, with the manner in which these are, they're failing. We're now putting the Badgers in, which it doesn't read by the current reading system. We have about 1,500 meters that are going to have to be read by hand. So I've got all kinds of people out there reading meters Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. And eventually, we hope by the first of the next calendar year, we'll have all of those being installed, read by the new software. So we'll read in this manner this month, and one more month is the plan.
How do you know they're defective? What's the tip-off?
It's not the meters themselves that are defective, it's the transmitter.
Okay.
They fail to transmit,
I
they
see.
fail to tell us that there is a problem with it. They're supposed to, by signal, tell us that. So we are just not getting the readings.
Okay.
That's why, Fran, I hope we'll get this finished, we see a slight increase
I
in
would think
revenue.
so, yes.
Well, I think Bill was saying 10%.
Yeah, that's- I
Some
wouldn't
of our
quote him on
experts say it
that.
could be as high as 20%.
Well, and I want to make sure people understand why Mike is saying that. As meters age, they only slow down. They don't speed up. So the older they are less accurate, and they are not registering all the water that goes through. So it could be a 10% or so increase.
This meter problem has plagued us for at least the last 6 years. And I think even beyond that, so we finally have a plan. And also, the waste treatment plant, we've worried about it. We're now putting new things in there. We'll have the new blower hopefully within, another 30, 60 days?
The last part they're waiting on that was shipped from China, it should be here Thursday.
Okay,
So then they can move forward after Thursday.
Very good.
so we'll have that, not in perfect shape, but a whole lot better than it was a year ago.
And it will also be more efficient, cost-effective, and quieter. That's one of the things guys are looking for. So, if you've been down to the wastewater treatment plant and been in the second floor and the noise. I also have a request for trash collection at 722 Eastern Avenue. That's that small white building immediately north of the old Miller cafeteria. At one time, it was a Shrine,
Yeah.
I think, owned it. There is a business going in there, and they're asking for trash pickup, approval for trash pickup. So I have the form here.
Who's the customer?
Susan Pennington is the name on the bill.
Let's take that right here while we're here. Anybody got
You need a motion on that, Mayor?
Accept the request for trash pickup at 722 Eastern.
I'll second.
a motion and a second to allow that request? Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much. And the other thing, just mention that we are advertised for bids. Next Board of Works meeting, we'll receive them and open them up for fuels, lubricants, and chemicals for the year of 2014. Julie has advertised it on our behalf, and we'll receive them open the next meeting. And that's all I have.
That's good. I'm gonna bring you up to date, we're shopping in 2 states away from us, looking for an assistant director. We interviewed one last week, and neither Dave nor I felt that that was the person for the job. We're gonna continue to search until we have the right person. When I have the right person, I'll bring them to you. When I think I have the right person, you'll make the decision on the right person. We continue to do that. Mary Ellen and I spent a couple hours together at the waste treatment plant last week. She explains to me that she needs an electrician and a plumber that can turn a wrench. And we are interviewing, we're looking for that specific person. We're going to interview somebody 3:30 today. We'll bring him down to talk to you. We have made the move now, and somebody has accepted the service.
Oh, we've not made that official yet.
Okay.
I need to make that official and then open up their position.
Okay, we're doing that dominoes effect because we had that one man move up there. So once we get there, we think that we'll need that person down in the waste treatment plant. So
Most likely.
I just want to inform you, we're working at it real hard, trying to get it down to where it's running like a fine-tuned bicycle, I guess. Anything else that we had, Mary Ellen? Did I miss anything?
No, the grid system's in and running.
That's good.
All your money's been spent wisely.
That's good, I like to hear that. I would urge you guys, if you have been down there, or haven't been since we got the new motors in, go down there, you'll be most impressed with the way it's working. Mary Ellen tells me 16 hours after we get the water that's wastewater, it is clear water, safe to put out in the river. And that's quite a feat. And it's the whole digester, the whole thing is just fascinating, I think, to watch the way it works. So if you get a chance, you have a spare, call Mary Ellen, go down and let her take you through. She took me under the tunnels and every place. She tried to get me swimming that clean water, but it was cold. But I really think it's really good for the Board of Works to go down there.
Yes.
Well, with Mary Ellen's diligence on the equipment and cost and agreements, and with this group working with her and making sure things are done, she's keeping equipment up along with the help of the employees and saving us money in the long run. So I certainly appreciate her for much of the work that she does. It's just something that I don't need to do, and she takes care of it.
Would you echo that same thing, Jason?
Yeah, it seems like there's a really good group in this utility that takes a lot of pride in what they do.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Was there anything else that we needed to carry under veteran or public forum? Was there any other public forum? Yeah, I have a couple more. I have a fire department wants to talk to the Board of Works. Chief?
You want me to handle the furniture first, or?
Well, yeah, I think you can, yeah, just go ahead and handle the furniture and your generator.
Okay. We was looking at the budget, me and Julie, and we're in need of some furniture at Station 1. I got talking with Dale, and he's in need of some also. We went together and got prices from local vendors and one in Rushville for chairs. Got them down from about a little bit over 400 to in the high 200s, and we're asking to transfer some money out of one line item to furniture.
What he's saying, he wants to buy 12 chairs, 8 for the fire department, 4 for the first aid unit to replace the Lazy Boy chairs that are over there. They're about 10, 15 years old. And they have pieced them together and they don't sit down gentle enough.
Are these just straight back chairs or what?
No, there's recliners.
Recliners. One of the firemen that has put steel cable through them and locked them together and everything. Ronnie knows what I'm talking about. Trying to get them to last.
Are you talking 14 at piece price at $400 a piece? Is that
12.
12?
12, and we got them down to the 290s.
So we're talking $3,600 roughly.
You want to transfer it, you saying? You want to transfer?
4 of them are for EMS, so.
Yeah. Ours is around 23 something.
And we gotta order these, they're not here, we'll have to order them. The vendor will order them, it's a local vendor right across from
Yeah.
They're Lane chairs, United States made. He brought me some prices, a little higher on chairs that weren't made in the United States, and I said, no, we want at least, I'd like for them to be made in Connersville, but since they don't make chairs here, so I can get enough money, or he can get enough money in his account, we gotta transfer a little bit, I just want your blessing if that's what you want me to do.
I see no reason why not. I'll make a motion to buy 12 chairs. What was it? He said it's 9 and 3?
8 and
8 and
4.
4. 4 for EMT and 8 for the fire department.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
And the next thing, I had the guys come down from Station 1 and bring the lights in. We wanted to do a different lighting setup the way, than what we're using on Engine 1. This is also, we have in our budget, we're wanting to go with the Honda generator light. So it's a generator and a light. We can carry it, move it room to room. What it eliminates is the need for these heavy cords. Right now, what we have to do, that's actually the lights we've been using on Engine 1. As you can see, water hits them, they bust, and they're pretty old. Me and Tim was going through them last week, and we started pulling connectors off, and we found 100 foot of 14-2 wire. So we wouldn't even run in the ground through our fire scenes, which, you know, could have been pretty dangerous. This right here light up a scene. This
Both of
is,
you guys hold that up so they can get it on TV here. Get it. Those cameras back there, see?
That's where you go.
Okay.
so you don't have cords, you don't drag cords through the fire scenes and stuff. It's 15.9.
Chief, he wants to get a, did you get it?
Yeah.
Get a picture with that.
How many of those do we have?
We have one.
That's the only one you have?
Yeah, and we wanting to put one on the new engine, because the new engine, to put the old generator back in it, we have to plumb it and put a breaker box and everything for the cord, so we're gonna put another 300 in that. A big cord like that, 10.3, it costs you almost $300 for 100 foot. So we just wanted to get it where it's easier, less likelihood of getting electrocuted. With the generator off of Warren, Leonard's concern was that I'm trying to get my ISO down so we can make the insurance cheaper for the citizens and for factories. And I want to put the generator off of Warren in one of my outstations, and then I'm going to try to get one on a grant, a micro grant for the other station, that we can get our ISO down to a 4. That'll be a substantial savings on insurance cost for citizens.
We have a real nice Honda generator came off that old truck, and we're gonna put it in one of those stations. It'll be wired up, but they'll only start it when they need to raise the door or run the radios. It won't run the whole place. Now, over at the number 1 station, we got a generator that runs the whole place.
Yeah, we have one of the gas generators. But to get our ISO, it doesn't have to be a huge generator. But we want to get our ratings down. So we're trying to do everything as the best we can to reduce cost.
What's the cost of those?
$15.97, and that's wholesale. We got it knocked down or $500 off of it, retail.
What's the warranty on them, a year?
Yeah. Now, they do make it with the LED, which we love the LED lights, but it's 700 more, and that's just out of our price range then. You know, these
How
lights,
much you got in your budget,
we've got a,
Julie?
Well, but, I mean, he's got enough to pay for that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we
So it could be retrofitted too, couldn't Troy, with LED later if
Yeah,
it's
later.
necessary?
they actually make them where you can fit a pole, so you can have a pole light, you know.
there's $4,600 in his minor equipment, but,
Has he used some of that, or we got some pending?
well, he may
Little
have
bit.
some more.
What else you got coming this year?
There's a couple flashlights for the truck and a nozzle.
I'd rather see the LED while we're buying if we could afford it. I mean, it's much more efficient, has to be better for you guys. That's just my
Not only
opinion.
that, the LED, you can't hardly break it. We're putting LED Christmas lights up, because they clang them together, and if they clang them together, they won't work.
LED is what we put on the scene lights on the actual truck. They run off the alternator, and that eliminates your need for a generator too in the back of the truck.
You get in a confined space, you need all the lights you can get, really.
That's quartz. Is that quartz?
It's like a quartz halogen bulb, yeah.
But that will break if it's dropped.
Yeah, we'll replace bulbs in these, but we haven't replaced very many, so it's just whether or not the 700.
Seems to me, when you're buying it, you want to buy the top of the line, since you got money in your account.
It's coming to safety, yes.
What do you say, Fran?
Yeah, if we got the money, I see no problem. Great.
So that would make it about $700 more beyond the 50 you're talking about.
23.
Yeah, around 2,300, right around it.
So you're saying the LED does not have a generator, it's just a light system?
No, it's the same thing,
Oh,
just
okay.
LED light.
The scene, the back of the fire truck has got LED lights built right into it, they just
Yeah,
flip them
that's
on.
Yeah.
In the old days, we had to start a generator to make them burn, now they just run.
Okay,
They're
off
not
the truck.
built in.
Yeah, these draw so
Less current.
much wattage. We would have to run a generator to run our scene lights. Now they run off the alternator of the truck, the
Oh,
LEDs.
that's cool.
They're real cool. Oh, yeah.
I'll be expecting you to transfer some money, or, no, we don't have to transfer.
No, we got
There's
it.
money.
You need a motion?
I need
Do we need a motion or just the,
I'll make the motion that we go ahead and allow Troy to buy the new generator with the LED lights on it at a cost of
It's right at 23.
$2,300.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
need a second? Go ahead.
You seconded, didn't you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for showing.
We got your chairs, you still want to speak?
That's you guys' Christmas present.
Thank you.
Okay, David, did you have anything you need to speak about? We're done with the old business.
Your other David, excuse me, your other David down there has something.
David, come on, I didn't see you over
You're on
there.
the sign.
Thought he was running for the paper.
We're picking up trash next Monday, the Veterans Day thing, the holiday. Just want everybody to know that we are picking up the trash next Monday. Is there any news on 2nd Street today? The Red House.
I'm waiting,
Yeah, we've been ready since November 1st.
yeah, so whenever you make the arrangements or whatever you want to do.
Getting a cost
Well,
for the
you're gonna have to get
dumpsters.
the cost approved by the,
For the dumpsters.
I think,
Got it.
Dave, when you supposed to get the dumpster cost?
I'm sorry. I think David did it, I think. I'd say David did it.
It's right here.
Is that before or after your haircut?
I need to,
I'll give you some.
Did they give you an idea how many they thought it would take, Dave?
well, when I talked to him this morning, again, we thought maybe 4.
Could you explain what this is?
the Red House, you haven't been in on this, it's a Red House down on 2nd Street, we've been trying to get it taken care of for a year. And,
Trying to take it down, and this is for roll-offs to take away the refuge from the,
What's the address?
down on 2nd Street, I don't have the
Second
address.
nickel, second nickel.
Second,
218, I think.
Yeah.
the people down there have improved their homes and made things look nice, and this one's fallen down around them, part of the roofs blew off, and the city council will have to approve this.
And we're just gonna haul the trash away, or we're gonna tear
We'll
the
tear the
house?
house down,
Yeah,
these
we
are the
tear it
dumpsters.
Down ourselves, though.
But I just want everybody to be aware, this is the pricing that we're looking at. And I would think no more than 4.
4.
And we were talked this morning, I talked to,
Dana,
his son, Gabe. I talked to him this morning, and this can fluctuate a little bit on what we need as far as the 40 yard and the 30 yard, so we can work this out, but this was the prices of both. I'd like to have a 40 yard to start with because they're so much taller and it's easier to get the stuff in. You don't have that kind of, your stuff falling on the ground and so forth is bad.
This board only needs to give you permission to tear it down now, that's what we want to do, and then the council will have to fund it, right?
That's correct.
All we're going to do is tell him that that's what we want him to do. We're not going to do it unless the council funds it.
I think you need to determine if that's what it will take to bring the property into compliance with the
Have you had
ordinance.
anybody offer to buy it and bring it out?
No.
And it can't be repaired.
The roof's been off of the parts along, it's just pretty much falling straight down there.
You're tearing it down, the city's tearing it down, and this is the.
These are the prices of what it's gonna take to haul
I'm
it
sorry,
away.
okay, I'm sorry.
For the roll-offs, it's gonna
Did you not
take.
talk to the owner? I thought you did.
Yeah, I did. And he was willing to do whatever it took to sign off to help the city out.
What's he going to do with the lot then?
I don't know that the
So we're
lot,
going to have a nice lien against it, 5,000, right?
and I don't think he'll want the lot or anything about that. I just thought, this is just what I thought. Then it goes back for sheriff's sale or something later. I don't know what happens to the lot.
Is there any mortgage against it? John?
Two, and I've notified the mortgage companies. They didn't respond, didn't enter an appearance to the litigation.
So all I'm
They
gonna do
didn't
is
want to get involved.
take the fence down, take the house down, level it out, take the foundation down. I'm gonna refill the old basement with street sweepings that we have down to, and that won't cost us anything for that. Make it level and I'm done.
Okay, I need a motion on this to,
You have to keep in mind, the current owner continues to be the owner of the
right,
property.
but we'll have another lien of five.
A lien against it for the cost of
The lot won't
demolition.
be worth more than 3 or 4.
And we've mowed it and so forth too, so that's another lien against the property. We mowed it the last couple of years or so at least, that I know of.
I know the council wants to get this done. They've been pushing me and pushing me.
I move that we give City Street Department permission to go ahead with the demolition of West Second and Nickel property, the Red House, pending approval of the money for the rollaways by City Council this evening.
I'll second. I see the price for the four of them would be $1,864 if you want all four to be 40.
And I'm thinking Fran too, I wanna try to save, if I can save a roll-off, I will. If there's something I can take down to the transfer station, and I think, because I like to try it, it's never been tried that I know of, but to some of the lumber that's not dirty and so forth, maybe I can put it in a tub grinder. I want to look at that to see if that works or not. I've never seen it done, I just want to try it.
If you don't need the 4, is it prorated?
Yeah, I just pay for what I use.
Okay.
It's, I'm looking at up to 4 of them, is what we estimated.
Did someone second Jane's motion?
Fran did.
Fran did?
Yes.
Okay. Any just further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So we can do it with 3, that's what we're gonna do,
Okay,
so whatever.
You got anything else?
No, just get your leaves out the curb for us before it rains Wednesday.
I have a question for Dave, Your Honor,
Bring
when
your
we get
rake.
finished.
What part of town are you working in?
I put out 2 tracks, we start from north to south and meet in the middle.
Go ahead.
Is there, it's just something to think about, and I thought about this while I was off. Is there any reason why, for us folks that recycle, we couldn't put our recycle in the totes that we've got for garbage, as opposed to sitting it on the ground and letting the animals tear it out and what have you?
There's not, but who's gonna know what's in it?
Well, it's on a different day.
Yeah, but.
And it's in recycle bags.
But in my area, we do the trash and recycle. So those days, that makes it tough.
What if we printed, I got an old tote that I use. What if I print on the side of that recycle?
If an old tote, that's not a
It's
problem.
just a different tote anyway, they wouldn't pick it up. But, I mean, it just looks terrible when you drive through town, and it's a good thing that we recycle, but I just got that thought that,
Well, it's too bad we couldn't have afforded to buy totes for the
A
recycle.
separate tote, then that would have taken care of it is what it is, it says what it is on the outside of the
well,
tote.
they're in, the bag says recycled, and they don't take them if it's not in those
No,
bags,
if it's
they will not
if
take
it's not
them.
a white clear bag,
Okay.
not white, but a clear bag,
Just thought I'd ask.
it still lays.
Dave, the truck that's picking up recycling, does it have that lift on?
Yeah, they
Is
both
that the
have
one you're
tippers
using?
on. They both have
Okay.
tippers on.
Okay, thank you.
It's just a matter of knowing what's what, because some people don't take their totes back off the sidewalk like they maybe should, or they should.
They should.
Being nice there, but yeah, they don't put them behind the house or beside the house, they leave them out on the sidewalk. There's just be a lot of confusion on what's in it, what's not. We could figure out something, but it'd be something to try to tackle down the road.
Never mind, I just, it was
It's a good idea, it really is, that's not a bad idea at all,
It's just
but.
the next step we need to take to get smaller recycling toters eventually, once it starts paying.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
That's our problem.
Yeah.
I thought about having a piece of tape you could just put over the top recycle, but when you dumped it, it would just tip it.
And another situation we've had lately, and I've talked to Leonard about it a couple times, and the police chief, and what we're doing is, when your tote comes up missing, to file a thing with the police department and try to go at it that way. It doesn't happen every day, but it happens a few times a month where we lose them, and it's like Channel 3 over there, they have a tote, and John didn't have it one day, it was gone, he set it out the night before, found it 2 blocks away a few days later, and you know, that kind of thing is what we're finding. They're not so much being taken out of the limits, city limits, but they're taking the different areas in town. And we do have a good system right now on the numbering and so forth with the totes, because we went back through that this summer. So I'm pretty pleased with what they've done with that, so.
the new truck doesn't pick up recycle, does it, with
No,
the grapple?
no,
Okay, I
no.
didn't think so.
Have we had the one-arm truck a year yet?
He will be in
January is
January.
when we started.
I was trying to think of January something, I can't remember the exact
January.
day.
There's no payment on it.
Yeah, we're getting close.
We just
All right,
made
anything
payment.
else, Dave?
No,
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Public forum, anybody, anything? Did the board have anything else on their old business? Okay, miscellaneous business, anybody got anything you wanna talk about?
Are we completely cut clean with the Vistion building now, Your Honor?
Yes. We sure are.
We have no responsibility, liability, nothing.
Well, in the contract, when we sold it to them, we agreed to take care of the grounds until the end of this mowing season.
Oh, okay, that's
And I
fine.
don't know if you plan to mow it one more time, or is it done?
I don't know, I'm watching, I'm hoping they take their little flags up that they got out across the front, and if I can get that done this week, I might mow it one more time.
But that was part of the incentive
That's
package, that we would take care of it through this mowing season.
That's fine. Thank you.
Claims,
Okay. Two of the largest claims for the city were payments on equipment. The trash truck had a payment of $91,330.52, and the fire truck payment was $47,222.90. Total claims were $193,956.47, and a total number of 155.
Utilities, water was $45,348.42. Sewer was up $277,672.46, but $219,000 of that was interest on the bonds we have to pay. Stormwater was $10,298.96 for a total of $333,319.84.
any discussion?
I move we pay the claims as they've been presented.
Second.
Got a motion to second, any discussion?
Fine.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. There, one other item, and we're not gonna be able to resolve it today, but I want you to think about it. In the 6 years I've been here, what we've done is, the old city garage used to sit over there, and we'd take the lawnmowers in the wintertime over there and put them in there and store them so we could have room in the city garage. And then the roof fell in on it, so by that time, we owned Vistion, so we began to take everything, all our summer stuff, we'd take in the winter up to Vistion, all our winter stuff we'd take up there in the summer. I was over at the garage this morning, and now we have no room to do anything because we're filled with lawnmowers, snow plows, good equipment, stuff that needs to be inside. Mike has been, up at the park, has been asking me for a maintenance building for a long time. He'd like to put a pole building on the north side of the garage, there's plenty of room there. So we can put all the good lawnmowers and stuff in there, not let them sit out, both from vandalism and other ways. we could start to pursue finding somebody to build us a pole building. If I could get a pole building just put up, our crew could wire it, put a cement floor in it, finish it, wouldn't be any problem. All we'd need is the package, just the frame put up.
How big a building, Your Honor?
Well, Phil suggested 100 by C40, and when we look at the space, we got 60 by 90 is what we can probably do. But we're leaving this good stuff that we're paying big money for. We just bought a lawnmower for $11,600, and it's right in where Phil has to work. We keep all of our big trucks, we keep all of our things in the city garage. We're letting the blacktop machine sit out right now because we don't have room in there. It's not a good practice. We need someplace to put your summer and your winter stuff just for storage. We wouldn't even have to put a floor in it the first year or two. I even thought maybe just buy a package and have our men put it up this winter. I think we're capable. I think we have the equipment and the men that can put it up. I want you to think about it. I'd have to go for funding someplace.
Is a pole building a good idea with what the county is experiencing with theirs?
And pole building will last 30 years, and
That
just storage,
didn't, I don't think, did it?
if it's done right.
Oh,
It should last longer than that if it's done right. You get good treated poles.
The way they do it today, it's a pretty good deal, but just storage, not gonna fix anything in there.
The location you're talking about again? for-
Well, the location that Mike has suggested, right north of the garage at the park where the house is,
Okay.
and then we would connect the fence to it, and we'd have security there. When I went home for lunch today, I noticed that the old number 2 fire station's for sale. I don't know if it's for sale for a real reasonable price. That'd be close to the city garage. It's not near the size that Phil wants, but if it was real cheap, we could keep all the lawnmowers there in the wintertime and some of the summer stuff in the summer or wintertime.
What, you have a price in mind, what?
I think we can get it done for 45 to 60.
Okay.
My concern is with the location and the work that's been put into the Roberts Building and the Pavilion and the Miller Building, that it would be aesthetically pleasing to them.
That's a good point.
It's gonna be sitting right in the middle of all of them.
Yeah, and I thought about that. There's trees there. Mike has just planned for that to be there. You know, every park has to have an area. We looked at down below. In fact, we have a beautiful John Deere tractor, probably a $35,000, $40,000 tractor, and we're keeping it in an underground hut where it drips. And I don't like that, but we have no other place to keep it. We thought about building down there by the horse barns, which we have plenty of room. But then you can't control the vandalism.
Well, you also have a floodplain problem,
It's a
Yeah.
floodplain problem.
which makes it very difficult to build in.
How about some of the other big buildings in town, Your Honor, like D&M, HH?
Well, D&M's for rent for $1 a square foot. We could rent some square footage over there.
How about the Beeson area? We own the property. Would that be clear out?
What he's talking about is behind the bowling alley. We own that big lot. I told you when I started, we can't make a decision today and we'd have to get it funded. But when you're driving around town, kind of look and see what you think.
Why don't we test the water and just get a couple quotes from local contractors and see what it'd cost us? Give us something to work from, at least to look at.
You guys look at locations, you might think. The city does own several pieces of property, I don't know.
Stuff in Office Park too.
Yeah, lots of stuff in that park.
I'm like Jay, and I'm not sure the park is a place.
That was my first thought, but it's
What's the
where the
cost
men
of-
are every day and you can watch.
Sure, it'd be convenient, but
With the cost of.
Mayor, I got an idea I want to share with you a little later, but,
Okay, about this issue?
yeah,
Well, why can't you share it now?
I can.
Well, share it. Get up there and
The
share
rest
it.
of us is up in our house.
The city police department's got a little issue with some equipment too. We are collecting some vehicles and stuff like this. Also, we got some Humvees and a SWAT van, stuff like this. And we got our E-Bot cars. And Dave and Bill, when Bill was in, they worked it out where we had a pretty good, I don't know, how much was that down there, Dave? But I got the map and everything. It was a big chunk of property down there inside the fence at the sewage treatment plant in the back in the corner. And the only thing is, we'd have to gravel it, but that would be
You know, that's a pretty secure area down there.
That's a secure area down there.
I like that. About the transfer stations, is there any room down in there?
Yeah, in the back. Dave, what was that, about an acre or two, or what was it?
Half acre.
Was it half acre?
I think it was a quarter acre, and I told Dave we could probably do without half acre.
About a half acre. And it takes in quite a bit of land. We'd have to, like I said, we'd have to gravel it and all this. But I guess there's a pretty good gravel base there. It's grass too, but I guess it's a pretty good gravel base, I understand. But that's something that we've been looking at. And basically, we're looking at a place to, when we confiscate these cars and drug deals and stuff like this, where we could store them, depending what happens to them on court cases, as we've had a couple in the past. So, that's something I just want to throw out there. That could be a good location for something like that. And it's already city property, and it's a secure, very, very secure area down there.
Yeah, it has to go past the transfer station, it has to go through 2 gates.
Yep. And the reason why we offered to the police department, we knew there would be limited access to it. They don't have to go down there, but very seldom. And that is what we would require of anything that's stored down there, is that there's very limited access. It is a secured area, and it's that way on purpose because of the place is unsafe when it's unmanned. So if you do store things other than the police equipment, you want to look at that pretty close.
Well, we're not in there very often. We just-
Does it have access to the river, Dave? Does it have?
Yes.
But is it open? I mean, is that fenced?
But it's gated.
It's gated. But you do have cameras down there, correct? Yes, in certain areas, they have cameras down there.
Well, that's one thing we can look at.
Transfer
You guys
station
look-
has a big, huge yard there too, as well, for
What?
a whole building.
In the,
The transfer station has a
northeast
huge
corner.
yard.
There's
Aside for a
between the transfer
whole building.
station and your second gate.
I'd like to get a price first, and then we can.
Well, we'll look at some prices on some packages, maybe I can see if, I think our crew could put it up, I really do. We could buy a package, I think they could put it up. Billy is perfectly capable of building a building if he's got help. I had something else I wanted to tell you folks, can't remember what it was. Oh, I do remember what it is. We looked around to all different areas, what's your company that gave us the money? UEA?
Yeah.
The UEA gave us
I didn't know which one they were
$3,000.
from, yeah.
I was able to get a little money out of my Promote Connersville fund, and we had another couple little restricted funds we found a little money in. And believe it or not, we have all new Christmas decorations for Main Street and LED lights for the trees,
Paid for?
paid for.
Great,
Yep, paid for.
great.
We just
They look
kinda
nice,
went around, and you'll like them, they're starting to put them up. The other Christmas decorations, when they said 25 years old and looked like bottle brushes that had faded out to nothing. So the girls said, don't put them up, don't put them up. So I think you'll be proud when we get them up, and I do thank the UEA for giving us that $3,000.
You're welcome.
Okay. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. Anything else to come before this board?
I move we adjourn if there isn't.
Second.
I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Meeting adjourned.